Okay, so I put 1/4 cup right here. And then I get my brown sugar.
Is the iPad still here?
It's on the luggage or on...
Okay.
No, right there next to the table. Right there, go to the table. I don't pack the brown sugar. I just put... Shoot, that just fell. Okay. And you guys, we're not going to wait for it to rise or nothing. I'm just going to show you to start it, and then I'll show a picture when it's done. Okay. So it comes out probably to about 2 tablespoons of... You find it, babe? This is my brown sugar. I put it in there. So it probably comes out to about 2 tablespoons. I just use the measuring cup because I already have it out. So I move the stuff out of the way that I'm using. You guys, I'm telling you, I can't stand measuring things and doing things, but it's literally so easy. Okay, so in here I have my brown sugar and my hot water. Brown sugar is my activator for my yeast. Okay, so I need that no matter what. You guys, I have, if I told you the size of my yeast bag, you would die. So this is my 1/2 cup. You can have whatever you want, but I'm putting 1. So that's 1 teaspoon, because this is a 1/2 teaspoon. So I have 1, 1.5, 2. I'm going to put 2.5 teaspoons of yeast. Okay. Once you open your yeast, it has to go in the fridge. This is my yeast. I bought. You guys, it's $5.99 or $6.99 for 5 ounces. I just bought 2 pounds of yeast for $8.99. Okay. So now I get that, and I just kind of whip it around. And some people don't do it like this. I found this is the easiest way for me. It works for me. My bread rises. Okay. I'm mainly trying to get the sugar and everything to turn into 1. Okay. That's it. So while that's rising, if you will, I get a bowl. And this is my last bit of flour, babe. That's why I said if you wanted to take it to berry. You guys, I'll be literally just watching a movie or something. Me and Joe will be in the living room. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, I'm going to go bake. Joe's like, right now? And I'm like, yes, I can't get it out of my brain. Like, my brain is going, oh, just go bake that loaf of bread, or go, because it's so easy. All I have to do is this part. Okay, I got my sugar, yeast, and water. It's got to be warm water. Don't even measure the degrees. I'm sure there's a proper way, but I just do that. Okay. And yes, there's a proper way to do flour. You're supposed to scoop it in. But here's 1 cup. I have a scale, you guys. I just haven't started using it yet. So I have 2 cups of flour right now. Okay. So I have roughly 3 cups of flour. Okay. Put 2 in here, and I put it here. And you almost got to find a way that works for you, because there's not a right or wrong way. It's just, I'll get a bunch of different recipes, and I made my own recipe. Pretty much what I did. Okay. So now I get... I'm going to get milk, okay? It's a 1/2 cup of milk, but I'm also going to put some more water. I might just do all milk. It makes it, the texture's different when you add milk or water, so you just got to decide what you want your texture like. So I do milk and water. So I don't really consider this part of it, because that's really just my yeast mixture. This is the milk that I use, or the water that I use for my actual bread. Does that make sense? Okay. So I'm going to get 1 full cup of what is it called? You guys. Okay, so 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I have 1 cup of milk because I have a 1/4 cup of water there. Even though I don't really include that as this, I still have to, in my head, know that I'm using it. You have to put, I mean, you don't have to, but I do. Warm milk versus cold milk. I don't know what it'll do. If it's cold, it may do something, it may not. If I was gonna make cinnamon rolls, I would put an egg in here next. But see how it's getting a little frothy? So it's kind of like, at the bottom you can see that it's like the water is brown because I use brown sugar. If you don't use brown sugar, it'll be clear. I mean, other than the yeast. But I use brown sugar because I like the flavor it gives. Okay, so 2 cups of flour, salt. Do whatever you want, you guys. I've heard some people say don't put salt in that because it takes away from what the yeast does. Do whatever you want. I put flour, I put the salt in here. I don't measure it, but if you're gonna measure it, I put a teaspoon of it. Okay? All right. So here's my warm milk. Here's my flour and sugar. Okay? I'm gonna put a tablespoon of butter. Do you have to? You can use oil if you want, just some kind of fat. Okay. Then I put it in the milk because the milk's warm enough that it will melt it. So you do what you want to do. I used to do like a wooden spoon, get a wooden dowel or something and just kind of blend it like this. I started to make my rice, what's it called, a little different the last week. Maybe 2 weeks, because I like the texture that it gets now. So what I do is grab my flour and my salt, kind of move it around, like when I'm making tortillas almost, and I put this in it. So this would be, if you have a bread mixer, put it in the bread mixer, if that's what you want to do. I have made tortillas my whole life, and I said, you know what? I don't need the bread hook. I can do it with my hands. And then I started using my hands, and I loved the texture it gives when I use my hands. It just has a different texture. So here's I'm gonna put all of this because I want all of that yeast. So because I want all of that mixture, then that will determine how little or how much of that I use. Okay, so I'm using all of this. That was a 1/4 cup of water, 1/4 cup of brown sugar, not packed brown sugar. Okay, and I'm going to use here's my milk. It gets very like this, and I know it does. Believe it or not, I know what it actually does better when I'm kneading it by hand versus kneading it with the hook. I don't know why, it just does. Okay, so right now I put 1.5 cups of the milk, or 1 cup of milk and 1/4 cup of water. Okay, 2 cups of flour in here, and then I have my other cup of flour here. I do 2, and then once it looks like this, I get my flour and I just blend. Like I almost in my head have to, like the way I did my tortillas, I scrape the bowl with my knuckles to pull it off. If you have a mixture, you guys, I know I have a bread hook, but once I tried it, the texture of once I did it without the hook, I found I like it better. So if I was making cinnamon rolls right now, I would throw the egg in here right now like this. Okay, that's the only thing different I would do is throw an egg, and I would do more, maybe another tablespoon of butter. And you do a wet dough means you're going to have very good, more great bread. I don't know how to describe it, but it's not a bad thing. You just don't have to touch it so much. That's it, you guys. That's literally all you have to do. It was just your milk, your yeast mixture. That's it. And I'm just kind of getting the wet, I guess that's a good way to say it, the wet that's in it, and you can use whatever you want to take it off. I have my ring, that's why I don't want to put my hand in there. I didn't take it off and I forgot. All right. See, it looks tacky. See how tacky it is? All right. I'm gonna put it down. You guys, I'm telling you, I am not one on, I'm not one for difficult. That makes sense. That's why a lot of times Joe will do the stuff like the cordon bleu, or if he does any of the dressings. We made like a poppy seed dressing for a salad in the summertime. I have Joe do it because I don't have the patience for like, oh, I got to measure this and I got to do this. But this literally is 3 ingredients. I mean, for me it is. The yeast mixture. I don't consider that really an ingredient, but it is. Okay. It's going to stay this way. I want it to stay tacky like this. Okay. Because when I get done, kind of just doing it by hand, what your hook would do. If you had it in the hook, you'd be like boom, 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 swinging around. I mean, everybody has their own way of how they do it. I found that I've watched so many different people do it. I take a little bit out of each person's, a little bit of each people that they're doing it, how do they make it, and I incorporate it. I know that it needs this for the texture. I know it needs this. You know what I mean? I know the things it needs. So, and you don't even have to do all this. I'm doing it because I saw the texture that it got. I made another one where it's wet and sticky like this. You put a top on it and you come back later and it's rose and you put it on parchment paper. I just wanted you to see this is this texture. This is this texture. So it's different. Every bread is different depending on how you prep it. We had this with lunch meat and it was stupid so good. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's all. I have a little bit of flour, so later on when if I decide to knead it again after it starts rising, then I'll have flour for it. And I usually put flour on the bottom of my parchment paper. So let's just tell you that if you get it from here, put it there, okay? It's going to be ballooned up. You get your parchment paper when it comes out. You're going to need to put enough flour on the bottom. Okay? Then I would get this and I'd flip it over. And the whole ball would come out and it'd sit here and I would tuck it underneath it. And then I would get this whole parchment and either put it in my Dutch oven or put it on a regular cookie sheet in the center. You know what I mean? Depending on if I wanted a round loaf. If I want a round loaf, I'll do it there. This one was an oblong loaf. If you guys want me to, I'll just upload a couple of pictures or something. But anyways, let me finish showing you this one. All right, hold on. You can get oil if you have oil. I'm using this. That's it. And grab your little baby. It's not sticky anymore. I had flour, I kneaded it. I'm gonna get it, and I'm gonna put it right in the middle. And then I'm gonna get, Sorry guys, I'm coming. These are like $5 for about 100 of them from Amazon. Just get it like that. And just put it in a warm spot. That's it. I'm gonna put my brown sugar away, my flour away. That's it, guys. That's it. That's all. We're gonna give our we gotta get more flour. That's our last bit of flour. Okay. Thank you guys for coming in. I wanted to show you guys like this next step is the end of it. Like when it comes out, I'm just gonna set it up to go in the oven. So it's pretty much on its done stage. When it comes out, I'm just gonna throw it on here, grab my hands and push it under. And then I'm either gonna grab this whole parchment and put it in here, or I'm gonna put it on the cookie sheet. If I put it on the cookie sheet, I'll probably just let it kind of blob out, because then it gets almost like a loaf of sourdough. It gets about that long, like that wide, like that. Almost like imagine a meatloaf. That's what that gets like. If you have a meatloaf on a cookie sheet, it kind of just gets long, kind of gets like this and like this, okay? But if it's round and I tuck it in, then I grab this and I put it in that pan. I don't have a Dutch oven, so I just use that and it works fine. That's it. Okay, another thing, if you're baking bread and your crust is too hard, because the heat is usually around 375 to 400 for about 20 to 25 minutes, you have to put like a pan of water. I don't do that because I don't know why mine doesn't get super hard. Mine's super soft from the minute I take it out of the oven. I grab some butter and I put butter on the top and it's soft instantly. It's just soft. And then you should wait about 15 minutes to cut your first slice of bread. Supposedly all the glucans go back to where it was supposed to be and you get the most flavor out of your bread. Does that make sense? I don't know. It tastes good whether I wait 1 minute or whether I wait 15 minutes. It tastes good either way. So anyways, I'm gonna let this rise. I wanted to show you guys because I keep going, oh my God, it's so easy. It is. For me, it feels easy. And it's not that I'm not smart. I don't like difficulty. And if I am able to swallow it and digest in what I'm doing, for me, I'm going, okay, here's my yeast mixture. It just takes, I put 1/4, just because I only want a tiny bit. Some people only put a tablespoon of sugar. Whatever you want to do. I put a 1/4 cup, but I don't pack it in. It's probably maybe 2 tablespoons that are in here. And I measure this to know how much water to put. And then my yeast. That's it. And then from that, I just, while it's kind of fermenting or getting blue, I grab my flour and my salt. And then I'm just kind of waiting around. I can do just water if I wanted 1 cup instead of milk. Do 1 cup of water. I just wanted to do the milk because I like the flavor that I started making. I just invented my own. Just watching people changing things, and I like the way this one tasted. I like the texture of it. I liked everything that this one did. So I just said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this and this and this. That's it. All right. I love you guys. I'm going to wait for that to rise, and I'm going to go to the next step. Have a blessed night. I'm sorry. I'm talking fast, but I'm going to finish the bread, and then I will show you guys a picture. I just don't want you guys to have to wait, you know what I mean, for it to come out or whatever. But I don't want you guys to have to hang out while it's coming out. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. Bernadette, thank you. Mama, thank you. William, Brooklyn, Ryan, you're always here. Thank you. And thank you, Ash, for coming in. Anybody else who's here, I appreciate you guys swinging through. If you guys could share the link, or share the video. If you could share the video, hit the like, share the video, hit the like. Oh my God, we have 10 likes already. Oh my God, that's sweet. Thank you. Anyways, you guys, we're obviously 10 is not a huge deal, but it's huge for us. We're grateful for it. Thank you for being patient. I took a day off yesterday and you guys know. Anyways, it was my dad's birthday. It doesn't get easier. You just start handling it differently. And you know that being online, poor Joe, we were eating something just basic. Like we stopped, I think we got an order of fries. And we were sitting there, and I just, I took a drink of my soda, and then we were sharing fries. And I looked and I saw these little kids holding Happy Meals, and I go, and I just started crying. And he's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I just feel bad. Like my kids didn't know what it was like to walk out of a McDonald's holding a little box, just as a single mom. I mean, just didn't. It was like $6 for two, or maybe $8 for two, and just we didn't have it. And I just started bawling, you guys, like a pathetic. I said, "I'm so sorry, babe." I said, I can't believe I'm crying. My kids are 27 and 30. And I just said, I'm just a mess right now. Like I'm very, very, very vulnerably touchy about things right now. And it's not the Happy Meal. It wasn't the memory. It was just, it's just really touchy for me right now. I'm, getting over the Christmas, the holidays. And thank you so much, Crazed to 5. I did get your email. I appreciate it. And Bernadette, thank you guys for just checking up on your girl. Yeah, my Christmases and stuff are just a little, they're hard. And then I have my dad's anniversary in January and his birthday in February. My older brother, we were so close, and he passed at 20. It was 2 weeks before his 21st birthday. So I have the month of March is my brother Andy, and then the month of April is his birthday. So we have my dad anniversary, then birthday, and then my brother's anniversary, and then birthday. Lord, just get me to freaking May, for the love of Jesus. Get me to May. Anyways, I love you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed night. I would say you don't have to use real butter. If anybody is wanting to know, I've used margarine with my bread and it works out just fine. You don't have to use real butter. You can actually use oil, canola oil, olive oil, 2 or 3 tablespoons of it or whatever. And you don't have to use unbleached or bleached. I use all-purpose bleach. Sometimes Joe buys unbleached and sometimes he buys bleach. So it's whatever you have is fine. And then you don't have to use milk. If all you have is water, it works with water. There you go. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the little pillows. Stop. Joe, little made ridges in them. Okay, guys. We got our bread done. Okay, look. This is it. I could let it go for another hour or 2 or whatever, but I'm just gonna... There's our bread. You guys saw what it looked like before. So this is the bread. Here's our flour. I can just throw it right on here right now. Or I can throw it on my flour counter and maybe knead it longer or fold it into a loaf or... let's see. Okay, let me explain to you what I mean. If I'm gonna... Let me move this out of the way. It's kind of a huge learning thing for me. You know what I mean? Like I just kind of decide what I'm going to do at this moment right here. So I'm going to get this. See my bread? Oh, shoot. Okay, here we go. Sorry, my son called. I had to stop the video. Okay. Let me just drop it. Doof. Look at that. Just drops out. See it? Falls out. You get it? If I was going to make cinnamon rolls right now, I would just do this. I would just press it down. And then I'd get a rolling pin and I'd press it down. But I'm not doing that. I want to make a loaf of bread. So I'm going to pinch it, pinch it, pinch it. I'm going to do this. I can put it in a loaf pan like this, but I'm going to get this parchment paper and I'm going to just lay it right like that. I'm gonna pinch these. Just kind of, you want to close it up. See it? Just kind of close it. And I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna put it right here and kind of shape it. And then I'm gonna put it over here like this. And I'm just gonna sit right on this top. You'll see it when I come back. I'll show you guys how big I got. See what it looks like? So I just shaped it, and then I just set it there. I'm gonna let it sit for about another 30 minutes and see how much bigger it'll get. And then when it goes in, I'm gonna get, I'll get this cookie sheet, and I'll just slide it right on here and slide it right in the oven. I could just throw it in the oven right now. I would probably grab it and put it like this so it'd be round ball. And then I would throw it on that cookie sheet and throw it in there. The reason I personally let it sit like this before I bake it, when I want it oblong, because I want it to get the shape before it goes into the oven. And then I want it to rise in the shape. But it was already in a ball shape in my bowl. So if it was from here and I had this in a ball like this, like the way it came out, and then I just tucked it under, I would get this, my cooking pan right here, and I would put it in there for 10 minutes while I'm maybe kind of tucking it under and getting it ready to go in. Okay, so this is getting hot. Then I would get that, pull it out, and I would get this that was shaped in a ball, and I would put this whole paper in there. And then I'd put the lid on it and I'd stick it in. But I don't want a round ball. I want this one to be this shape, because that's what I made last time. And it seemed like it did more bread. Like, does that make sense? I got more slices of it for sandwiches. I mean, I can put it in a loaf pan if I want, but with this, I kind of like the way, we really like the bread that you get over at bakeries. Like just kind of free shape, I guess it's called. Okay. Hi guys, we're back. I forgot it was in here. Look at, it's got bigger. You guys saw what it looked like. This is it now. So this is what I do. It's like 11, so it's taken about an hour. And then this is like one more 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So, okay, I'm gonna aim you guys this way so you guys can see. And then I mean, I can pick it up if I want, but I want to be careful with it until it goes in the oven and starts baking. So I'll get this, and I'll just put it right on here. Look at that. It's a whole loaf. I mean, I could put it, like, if I would have had it in a ball, it would be a ball. I just wanted it to be this size. So I'm putting it in the oven. About 375 in there. And then I'm careful to close the door. And I'll set my timer for 20 minutes. Then we'll have it. I want Joe to take it to his boss, but he doesn't have any bread right now, so I gotta make it for us. This is the last of our bread, like for toast or something. But look at how soft it is. It smells like fresh bread. Look at this, how soft it is. Look at, I can make a peanut, look at, you can see it. I did that. You know, you guys, it really started out like as a, I mean, you guys know me, I'm very frugal. If I would have done this when I had the kids, I would have loved to have done it. I made tortillas when I had the kids, but I didn't really do homemade bread or nothing. But because I did more baking, like, you know, blueberry muffins, banana muffins, bran muffins, coffee cakes, a white chocolate cake, a German chocolate cake, white coconut cake, sourdough. I made a bunch of stuff like that. Okay, you guys know I had our bed and breakfast. This just feels so different. I wish I could describe it to you. I feel like it allows me to try to experiment on things. Like it kind of like, it's not that it won't not work. What's the word I'm looking for? It's very flexible. So okay, let me say this. I started out with 2.5 teaspoons of yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, I believe, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and regular white sugar, and then like a cup, 1.5 cups, no, maybe a half a cup of water. Okay, and then I did a half a cup of water. Okay, so then once it bloomed, got ready, then in a bowl I had 3 cups. It's normally 1.5 of what it's normally double. So if it's 1.5 cups of water, then it's 3 cups of flour. That's just how all the recipes I make, they're usually like that. So I said that to say, I started out with that, just flour, yeast, sugar. That's it, and then the water. That's it. Then I started just kind of looking at other recipes, and then I made a cinnamon roll recipe, and I saw that they added an egg and they added oil. The same basic recipe, but they add an egg and they add oil. So then I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. So then, sorry guys, I'm trying to turn off my, I can't find it. I can't find my AirPods, so I hope you can hear all this. I don't know what it is. Oh, okay, here we go. Lord, oh, sorry guys. Oh my gosh, this thing will not turn off. Okay. So, I was kind of like, I saw other recipes and I said, oh, they put this in there, and I see that they put an egg, and they put 3 tablespoons of butter, or some of them put softened butter, some of them put melted butter that's cooled off, some of them put milk, and I think the milk gives a different flavor. Putting an egg, I think, and the oil, I think the oil gives it like a chewiness, I think, and then the egg gives it a little bit more hardiness. And so I started seeing all those recipes. So then I started going, okay, well, I like my recipe that I started with because it was simple. And then I know that my hook, it kind of just like, you add your 4 cups of flour. I've made so many different recipes. But then I started thinking, like, I like making my tortillas, and I know that when I do it with my hands, I get the texture of it in my hands. So I'm like, oh, I really want to feel the dough. I want to get my hands to know what I wanted to know what it was like before. Right? I guess there's nothing wrong with the bread hook, but the bread hook is just kind of like dunk, 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 and you do it for about 5 minutes. You know, it's a lot quicker. And usually if you go from bread hook to hands, you have to double it. That's just how it is. So, you know, you're doing it like for 10 minutes, kneading it. Well, you guys know my hands don't work the greatest. Okay. So I decided I was gonna try using it wetter, not wait for it to get to the end and then knead it, but wet, when it's wet, kind of massaging it. It was just my own thought. I would try it. So that's what I started doing. I put 2 cups of flour in and I massage it. Okay, so then I started doing, I didn't put the butter, I didn't put any oil, or I didn't put any egg. Like the egg was for the cinnamon rolls. But I just put a little bit of butter, like a tablespoon or 2, or oil, whatever you have, and then the milk and the egg. You guys, I put the water, a little bit of milk, so 1 1/4 in that, and I kind of change it based on how much. If I don't have much flour, I'm like, I don't have 7 or 3 or 5 cups of flour. It looks like I'm only gonna have 2 cups of flour, or I don't have 4. I only have 3 cups of flour. So that's the stuff that I kind of switch. I put less liquid because I don't have that much. So if I don't have enough to make the whole batch, then I just kind of downsize, whatever. Okay, well, in the last week, I started making this other recipe that I massage it while it's in the stage before ready. You know what I mean? And then I found that it's like soft white bread. It's not like the other one I was making was more air pockety, more almost like ciabatta bread. That's what the other one that I was telling you. 1.5 cups of water, 3 cups of flour, 1.5 teaspoons of yeast, and like 1 tablespoon of sugar. It's just more like ciabatta. It's wet. You put a plastic wrap on it, and in an hour, 45 minutes, it's big. Oops. It's big, okay? Well, that's all you do. You literally grab that blob, tuck it under, throw it in the oven or in your pot like this, and it goes in. Well, from that, I just kind of slowly started adding things and taking away. And then finally, the bread I make now is my own 3 cups of this stuff, 1 1/4 of liquid. I mix water and milk. I don't use white sugar, I use brown sugar. And then I use 2.5 teaspoons of yeast. And then I made my cinnamon rolls this weekend, the ones that I have a picture of it in the cast iron. Same recipe. And then I added an egg. That's it. That's like what I was saying is that this is my favorite recipe because my cinnamon rolls stayed soft. Like just amazing, everything that I wanted them to be. So anyways, and I went from putting butter, then brown sugar and cinnamon. Then I went from butter to brown sugar and cinnamon in a bowl, and then I, sprinkle it, and then I press it in so it gets into the dough. Now, this last one I tried, I do melted butter, like in the microwave, and then I put my brown sugar and my cinnamon. So it looks almost like a runny brown sugar. And so my dough, just like the way I showed you guys, if I was making cinnamon rolls, okay, I lay it, press it out. I make it like a 9 by 13. I make it like this size. Make it like this size of dough pressed out. And then I get my brown sugar and I slap it down. Then I just brush it with like a pastry brush. And I don't think I pressed it down because it was all wet. So just kind of paintbrushed it. That's it. Anyways, this is my favorite recipe because it's soft. I want to look so bad. We can't open it, guys. But when it comes out, we'll be back. I'm doing this on a video upload, so I didn't do it as a live. I started it on the live with you guys, but I'm gonna upload video and then you guys will see it in the video uploads. Okay, guys. I just took it out. It's very, very, very hot. Very, 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 very hot. Oh, shoot. Let me turn this off. Okay. So I stuck a little hole in it so I could get the temperature. I gotta wait 10 minutes. So they say. Anyways, put butter on it. I do anyway. But it's already soft, look. Like it's not, I don't know. Yeah, there's other recipes, you guys. There's recipes that are like, have it very, like a sourdough, a big ball, and then it's like, it just hurts my mouth so much, you guys. I don't even enjoy the bread when it's that. It's very hot. I can't do this. Let's see. And you don't have to do this. This is just what I do because I think it tastes good. Just kidding, guys. That's it. Grab this, swipe it around. I do it on the side like that. That's it. All right, guys. I mean, and this loaf is going to be more like this. This is the size of pieces that you will get. They're going to be like this. So you get two mixed in. This is like towards the end. So I hope you guys like it. I could have put it in a loaf pan, or it could have been a circle. Once I get more flour, I can do another one, same recipe, just so you guys can see what it looks like. I actually want to try out the same recipe and see if I can make what are they called? Rolls, like dinner rolls. But we'll see. There you go. I hope you guys like it. I'll upload this and you guys can see it. Oops. You guys did it with me. We did this together. Okay, guys. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo in the links or on our About page, and our email's in there if you have any questions. If you're cooking and you're like, what did she say? What am I supposed to do with this? Send me an email. All right. Have a blessed night, guys. Blessed night, guys. Be blessed. Be a blessing to the others. They're like the mailman doesn't even know. Like, who knows if somebody's talked to him or smiled at him or waved at him. Just never know.